Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do a granny style triangle that we can use as a bunting. This one I have attached a little crochet applique ghost, but you can also just leave some ends long and you put in a tassel or fringe on the ends. In this video I will show you how to attach this little ghost. You don't need a lot of yarn. I just used 2 strands of acrylic yarn, a little bit of black and a little bit of orange. I also used a 5mm crochet hook. You also need scissors and a yarn needle for weaving in your ends. To make our little granny bunting triangle using 2 strands, make sure your 2 strands are even at the end and you're holding them together. You're going to put a slip knot on your hook, grab both strands, and chain 21. And make sure you're grabbing both of these strands as you're creating your chains. Once you have 21 chains, you're going to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So this one doesn't count on your hook. Count back 1, 2, 3, 4 and put a double crochet into that 4th chain. Make sure you go under both strands. And a double crochet into the next. You're going to chain 1, and always remember to have both strands work with both strands. So sometimes it's easy to lose one. Just pull it back and make sure you're grabbing both strands for every stitch you do. So you've chained 1, you're going to skip a chain down here and work a double crochet into the next. And a double crochet into the next. And 1 more double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, chain down here, and do a double crochet in the next 3. Chain 1, skip 1 down here, and double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Chain 1, skip 1, and you should have 3 stitches left, so double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. And see how I just pulled that one up? Just pull it off if this happens. Put your hook back through those 2 and just do it again. You just want to make sure that you're grabbing both strands for every stitch. And 1 more double crochet into the last, should have something that looks a little bit like this. Now we're going to chain one. Make sure you go through both strands. You have 2 strands on your hook. Turn and slip stitch into the next 3. So the tops of those double crochets, just do a really loose slip stitch across. And put a slip stitch into that chain one space. Make sure you grab both of your strands. Now we are in this space. We're going to chain 3, and we're going to put 2 double crochets into that same space. So yarn over, pull up, back through 2, back through 2, yarn over, and back through 2, back through 2. Chain 1. We're going to skip these stitches here and find that chain 1 space and work 3 double crochets right into that space. Like that. Chain 1 to skip over to this next chain 1 space from the previous row and put 3 double crochets right into that space. Chain 1, skip these and work 3 double crochets directly into this space. And we're at the end. Since we're making a triangle, we don't want to continue. Every row is going to end on a diagonal, so you're always going to have this little edge piece like this, sort of like stairs. So once you reach that end block, like a stair, you want to chain 1, turn, and slip stitch into the next 3 across to get to our chain 1 space. And slip stitch into that chain 1 space. Chain 3, and we're going to do it all over again. We're going to put 2 double crochets here. Chain 1 and work 3 double crochets into this space, chain 1 and 3 double crochets into this space. Once you're back at that point, chain 1, because we don't want to go any further, turn, slip stitch across the 3 stitches from your previous double crochet shell. Slip stitch into that chain 1 space, chain 3, and work 2 double crochets right back into that space, chain 1, skip this shell. We've got one more chain 1 space to work, so 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space, chain 1, turn, slip stitch across these 3 stitches, slip stitch into that chain 1 space, chain 3, and we're going to do our last 2 double crochets to form this last shell. So do 2 double crochets into that space, and you can see now it is a triangle. Chain 1, turn, and just slip stitch back into that center stitch, that center double crochet to get to the middle. Now, if you want to add a little, tassels or whatever, just leave a really long string and you can weave them in and out here. What I would like to do is to add this little guy. Instead of tassels, just add this little guy in the bottom so he'll hang from this little bunting triangle. Alright, so I have woven in my ends at the top. I have cut my yarn on the bottom, and I've woven these in, threaded them through the yarn needle. I have my little ghost applique, and what I'm going to do is just come in on the back and the top middle stitch somewhere. Let's see if I can get a little closer for you. So somewhere in the middle, and I'm just going to weave up there, thread it in, go out through the next stitch. You just kind of hold him up, see if he's where I want him. And then what we're going to do is just come up through that middle somewhere, just find a stitch anywhere and pull up a little bit, not too tight. You don't want him to get pulled in one direction or the other. And then you can just weave in your ends on your actual granny garland. And there you go. We've got 2 different styles of granny triangle buntings. And of course I used the double strand black and orange to make it a little Halloween-y. You can string these up all together. You can add the little applique ghost. I also have a video tutorial on how to do a Tunisian crochet candy corn, and I will link that video in the description box right below. Along with this ghost, I have one for that too. And you can just, sew these together using a chain, and then just single crochet along the tops of these, chaining in between, however much distance you want in between. And they look super cute hung up, especially for Halloween, but of course you can do these in any color for any season, any time of year. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Until next time, bye!